Do women really let go so easily? You've probably heard it before. When a woman walks away, she never looks back. But is that really true? The reality is far more complex. Women can seem cold. They can reject you without hesitation. But deep down, completely letting go, that's not always so easy. Why is that? Because attachment is different from attraction. A woman may decide a relationship isn't right for her, yet still feel drawn to a man with certain qualities. You've seen it before. A girl turns a guy down, but still watches him from a distance. She feels something when he starts moving on. She's not hesitating. She's not necessarily thinking of coming back. But some emotions, they're beyond even her control. Women find it hard to forget a man who made a strong impact on them. But does that mean you should chase her? Try to prove your worth? Absolutely not. What truly matters is understanding the deep psychological triggers that keep her emotionally tied to you. Most men fail because they do one of two things. They rush to get her attention. They disappear completely. But real power, it comes from understanding. When you truly grasp these dynamics, you gain control of the situation. And when that happens, she'll respect you more. She'll wonder about you, maybe even regret leaving you. In this video, I'll break down 7 powerful reasons why women struggle to let go of a man. These aren't quick tricks or temporary tactics. These are real principles that apply to any relationship. When you understand them, you won't feel powerless when a woman walks away. Instead, you'll become the kind of man she simply can't forget. Before we dive in, if you connect with Stoic philosophy and want to help spread it, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Station and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And if this resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. Got feedback? Comment 2. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, let's get into it. Reason number 1. When you spark her emotional memories. Women don't let go of men who leave a deep emotional imprint on them. And no, this isn't about looks, money, or status. It's about something far more powerful. It's about how you made her feel. Most men make the mistake of trying to convince women with logic. They think if they just explain their worth, she'll suddenly see the light. But attraction doesn't work that way. A woman may reject you, but if she has strong emotional memories tied to you, she'll struggle to forget you. A woman's brain stores emotional experiences deeply. If you've ever made her feel excited, curious, challenged, or even frustrated, you occupy space in her mind, whether she wants it or not. That's why women so often go back to men they once swore they wanted nothing to do with. The mistake most men make: too many guys play it safe. They're too predictable, too available, too easy to understand. While stability is great for a long-term relationship, it's not what creates attraction. A man who's a little mysterious, a little challenging, a little unpredictable. That is the man she can't forget. Think about it. Have you ever had a girl reject you, only for her to check up on you later? Why? Because something about you stood out. Maybe it was your confidence. Maybe it was the way you made her laugh. Or maybe it was simply the fact that you didn't chase her like every other guy. 2 men, 2 very different results. Imagine 2 guys pursuing the same woman. Guy number 1 texts her every single day, showers her with compliments, agrees with everything she says. Guy number 2 has deep, engaging conversations, but then disappears for a while, making her wonder what he's up to. Which guy does she think about more? The second one. Because he sparks her curiosity, he makes her feel something unique. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about mind games or manipulation. It's about being a man who stands out. A man who leaves a mark through emotional experiences. Because when you become a man she can't forget, She'll always have a reason to think about you, even if she once said she wasn't interested. Reason number 2. You represent a challenge. Women struggle to let go of men who aren't easily conquered. In today's dating world, women are flooded with attention. Every single day, they receive messages from guys trying to impress, chase, and prove their worth. Compliments, heart emojis, offers to take them out. It never stops. But amidst all this predictable noise, one type of man stands out. The man who doesn't make it too easy. This is the man who doesn't instantly give away his time, emotions, or approval. The man who isn't desperately seeking validation. The man who knows his own worth and refuses to lower it for anyone. And that changes everything. Why does this matter? Because women value what they have to work for. It's human nature. If something comes too easily, it's taken for granted. But when a man makes a woman earn his attention, he becomes a challenge, and challenges fuel attraction. Think about it. Why do people appreciate a hard-earned victory more than a participation trophy? Why do we crave things that feel just out of reach? Because the effort makes it meaningful. This is why women are often drawn to men who seem a little distant, a little mysterious, a little hard to get. Not because they enjoy rejection, but because they crave the thrill of earning the time and attention of a man they see as valuable. The mistake most men make. Too many guys assume, if I show her I care, she'll appreciate me more. But attraction doesn't work that way. The more you give without her investing back, the less valuable you become in her eyes. A woman may enjoy the attention, but if she doesn't have to work for it, she won't feel the need to hold on to you. She won't respect it. She won't desire it. And that's why so many nice guys get left behind, not because they're good people, but because they give everything away without creating any sense of challenge or excitement. Here's the key. Don't instantly give away your attention, time, or emotions. Let her feel like she has to put in effort to get you. Become an intriguing challenge, and she won't be able to ignore you. Women remember the men they had to work for. Women forget the men who worked too hard for them. Two men, two very different results. Imagine two guys pursuing the same woman. Guy number 1 texts her constantly, is always available, replies instantly, no matter what, gives her his full attention without hesitation. Guy number 2 is warm and engaging but not always available, replies on his own time when he chooses, prioritizes his own life instead of dropping everything for her. Who does she think about more? Who does she crave more? The second guy, every time, because his time and attention aren't free. They must be earned. The power of being a challenge. This is why women are often attracted to men who seem a bit distant, not because they're rude or cold, but because they know their worth. They don't seek validation. They already have it within themselves. And that makes them unforgettable. A woman's mind when she meets a man like this. Why isn't he chasing me like the others? Why does he seem so content without my validation? This curiosity alone pulls her in. Suddenly, she's thinking about him, wondering about him, feeling something different, something rare. The bottom line: if you want to be a man she can't forget, don't be too easy. Women will always hold on to a man who makes them feel like they have to earn his attention, because that's how real attraction works. Reason number 3, you create a sense of loss. Women don't just remember the men who treated them well, they remember the men they feel they lost. Because when a woman believes she had a valuable man, but let him slip away, it triggers one of the most powerful psychological effects in human nature: regret. Even if she wasn't that interested at first, once she realizes you're truly gone, she begins to rethink everything. Suddenly, memories that once felt ordinary start to feel precious. Suddenly, she wonders if she made a mistake. And that feeling, it's unshakable. The power of disappearing. This is why walking away powerfully is one of the most effective moves a man can make. Because women don't respond to pleas, logic, or persuasion. They respond to feelings created through experience. And nothing creates a stronger emotional reaction than loss. The mistake most men make. When a woman starts losing interest, most men panic. They chase after her. Try to convince her to change her mind. Say emotional things hoping to make her feel something. But here's the truth. Women don't fall for words, they fall for emotions. And emotions are shaped by experience, not explanations. The moment a man pulls back, stops caring and just keeps living his life, she feels that shift. And that is when she starts to reevaluate everything. The psychology of loss. Why people only value something once it's gone. Have you ever noticed how people suddenly miss things only after they're gone? Why does a breakup suddenly make someone seem more desirable? Why do we only appreciate a moment after it becomes a memory? Because scarcity increases value. As long as you're always around, she never has to think about what life would be like without you. But the moment you disappear, she starts to feel the emptiness. And that feeling, it lingers. Even if she wasn't that interested before, now she starts missing you, not because she suddenly realized your worth, but because your absence forced her to feel it. How to walk away the right way. The biggest mistake men make when they walk away. They do it wrong. Instead of silently moving on, they make a big deal about it. I won't be here for you anymore. You're going to regret this. You'll never find another guy like me. But this doesn't make her regret losing you. It makes you look weak. A high-value man doesn't need to announce his absence. He simply disappears. No warnings, no explanations, no emotional reactions. And that silence, it speaks louder than any words ever could. Two men, two very different results. Imagine two men dealing with a woman who's pulling away. Man number one feels her slipping away, so he gets upset, tries to convince her she's making a mistake, waits patiently for her to change her mind. Man number two notices the shift, but instead of reacting, he stops texting, stops checking in, doesn't chase, keeps living his life as if nothing happened. Who does she think about more? Who does she miss? It's man number two every time, because he creates a real sense of loss. Why women respect men who walk away. A woman can only feel the weight of losing you if she actually experiences life without you. This is why men who know how to walk away never have to chase. Because when you're not afraid to lose a woman, you become the man she doesn't want to lose. And that's when the power shifts. She starts replaying memories. She starts missing the way you carried yourself. She starts realizing you were different. And even if she doesn't act on it immediately, that thought will linger in her mind for a long, long time. Reason number 4. You are her emotional anchor. A woman may not always show it, but deep down she highly values a man who provides her with a sense of security, calmness, and direction. Because no matter how strong, independent, or confident she seems, emotions can sometimes overwhelm her. And when that happens, the man who can keep her grounded becomes irreplaceable. She may not always say it. She may not even realize it at first. But the moment she understands that you are the one who helps her stay emotionally balanced, she will struggle to let you go. The mistake most men make. Most men fall into one of two extreme categories. Group 1, the chaos bringers. These men make her life unstable, too much drama, insecurity, and unpredictability. Instead of bringing peace, they add to the storm. Group 2. The boring ones. These men are too passive, too predictable. They offer no excitement, no challenge, just emotional dullness. But the rarest type of man, the one women never forget, is the one who provides emotional stability while still being exciting and engaging. Why is this so powerful? Because women are naturally more emotional than men. They feel things deeply, they experience emotions intensely, and that's why they are instinctively drawn to men who can handle emotions with strength, patience, and certainty. If you are the man who keeps her grounded when she's overwhelmed, makes her feel safe when she's anxious, guides her when she feels lost, she will find it almost impossible to replace you. Because men like that, they are rare. The common mistakes men make. Mistake number 1, becoming her therapist. Some men try to solve all her emotional problems. They absorb all her burdens, losing themselves in the process. Instead of being a strong presence, they turn into an emotional sponge. Mistake number 2, ignoring her emotions completely. Other men go to the opposite extreme. They expect her to handle everything alone. They don't provide guidance, reassurance, or stability. Both approaches fail, because a woman doesn't want a therapist, and she doesn't want a cold, disconnected man either. The unforgettable man is the one who acknowledges her emotions but isn't controlled by them, provides stability while keeping things engaging and exciting, stays strong without needing to fix everything. That's real masculine energy. Example: 2 men, 2 different reactions. Imagine 2 men responding differently to a woman's emotions. Man number 1, reacting emotionally. When she's upset, he gets frustrated. He tries to force her to be happy, saying things like, "Just stop worrying so much." If she becomes distant, he gets needy and insecure, constantly asking, "What's wrong? Are you mad? Why are you acting like this?" Man number 2, staying calm and steady. When she's upset, he acknowledges her feelings but doesn't get sucked into the chaos. If she becomes distant, he gives her space without overreacting. He remains a solid, steady presence, no matter what. Who does she respect more? Who does she feel safer with? Man number 2, every single time, because he demonstrates emotional leadership, and women aren't attracted to men who are emotionally chaotic. They want a man whose strong energy influences their emotions, not a man who is controlled by their emotions. The essence of a truly masculine man. He doesn't try to fix her emotions. He isn't shaken by her emotional storms. He stays calm, focused, and unshakable. When she's upset, he doesn't add to the chaos. He doesn't become defensive or needy. He is simply a solid, steady presence. And that is powerful. Why this matters. At first, she may not even recognize your value. She may take it for granted because your emotional strength feels natural to her. But the moment you're gone, she feels the difference. She realizes that other men don't provide the same emotional stability that you did. And that's why so many women go back to the men who made them feel emotionally grounded. Even if she doesn't fully understand why, she knows that with you. She felt safer, she felt calmer, she felt more focused, and that is something she cannot easily let go of. Reason number 5, you challenged her and made her grow. A woman can be attracted to a man for many reasons: his looks, his confidence, his charisma. But one of the strongest reasons she can't let go. He is the man who pushed her to become better, because while attraction can fade, growth stays with her forever. The rare man who stands out. Most men make one of 2 mistakes. They seek validation. They try too hard to impress her, constantly looking for approval. They avoid challenging her. They fear that if they push her too much, she'll leave. But the rarest kind of man? He doesn't seek approval. He inspires respect. He isn't afraid to challenge her, because he knows that true love isn't just about comfort. It's about growth. And women are drawn to men who make them think, evolve, and step outside their comfort zones. Challenging her doesn't mean controlling her. This doesn't mean arguing with her. This doesn't mean controlling her. This doesn't mean forcing her to change. It means you are the man who accepts her flaws, but doesn't let her stay stuck in them. Encourages her to become more disciplined, stronger, and wiser. Helps her see things from a new perspective. Refuses to tolerate negative behaviors that others ignore. And this is the kind of man who leaves a permanent mark on a woman's mind. The mistake most men make. They are too agreeable, always nodding, always saying yes, afraid to challenge her. They avoid calling her out, even when she's making bad decisions. They let her walk all over them, thinking that being passive will keep the peace. But a man who isn't afraid to stand by his values is the man she respects, is the man who influences her, is the man she can't forget, even if she doesn't always like it in the moment. Two men, two different relationships. Imagine two men in a relationship. Man number one, the people pleaser, always agrees with her, even when she's wrong. Avoids tough conversations because he's afraid to upset her. Lets her do whatever she wants, even when it's hurting her or the relationship. Man number two, the strong, grounded man. Doesn't argue unnecessarily, but stands his ground when something isn't right. If she acts selfishly or entitled, he doesn't reward that behavior. If she lacks discipline or direction, he encourages her to be better. Who leaves a stronger impact on her life? Man number two. Why? Because even if she argues with him in the moment, deep down she knows he's right. Deep down she respects him. Deep down she grows because of him. The biggest sign of this. Later she changes her behavior, even if they're no longer together, because a man like that stays in her mind forever. The psychology of women. Why they don't respect men who fear losing them. Women don't respect men who constantly compromise themselves just to keep them happy. They don't respect men who fear losing them and sacrifice their own values just to keep the peace. They respect men who stand by their principles even when it's uncomfortable, refuse to bend just to be liked, push them to be better even if they resist at first. If you are that kind of man, even if she didn't appreciate you before, she will struggle to forget you. This is why women say things like, "You were right about me. I didn't see it then, but now I understand." Because you weren't just a boyfriend. You were the man who changed how she saw herself. You were the man who influenced her growth. You were the man who set a higher standard, and that's something she can't replace. She may not admit it right away, she may even resist it at first, but deep down, she knows the truth. With you, she became better. With you, she grew as a person. With you, she felt challenged in a way that no one else gave her. And that's why she'll never forget you. Reason number 6. She feels a strong physical and chemical connection with you. Attraction isn't just about emotions. It isn't about logic. It's something deeper, something biological. A woman may convince herself that she doesn't need you. She may tell her friends, "I've moved on." She may even start dating someone else. But her body and subconscious, they tell a different story. Because when a man triggers a powerful physical and chemical connection in a woman, she won't be able to let go easily, no matter how hard she tries. This isn't just about intimacy. It's about how she feels when she's around you, your scent, the way her body unconsciously reacts to it, your voice, the depth, the tone, the way it makes her feel safe or excited, your touch, not just in intimacy, but in the way you hold her, guide her, or even brush against her, your energy, the presence you bring into a room, the way you make her feel when she's near you. When these things trigger deep emotions inside her, they create a bond that no other man can easily replace. And even if she walks away, she will still feel you. The truth about attraction that most men don't understand. Many men assume that women are only drawn to money, status, looks, and while those things might grab her attention at first, they don't create an unbreakable connection, because a woman doesn't just get attached to a man's achievements. She gets attached to the way he makes her feel when she's around him. If your presence alone makes her feel something powerful, then no other man can replace you in her mind. Imagine two different men. Man number one, the perfect on-paper guy. He's conventionally attractive. He's well-dressed, well-groomed, and checks all the boxes. But when she's around him, there's no spark. He looks good, but he doesn't make her feel anything deep. Man number two, the magnetic presence. He may not be the most handsome guy, but when he speaks, she feels drawn in. When he looks at her, she feels seen in a way no one else makes her feel. When he touches her, it's not just physical, it leaves a lasting emotional imprint. Who do you think she keeps thinking about? Man number two. Why? Because real attraction isn't just about looks. It's about how you make her feel, and if you awaken deep emotions in her, she will always remember you, even if she tries to forget. This is why women leave perfect guys, but can't forget the one who triggered something deeper. She may date other men who check all the right boxes. She may try to move on with someone better, but when she's alone, her mind still goes back to you. That's why some women randomly text or call you weeks, months, or even years later, because something reminded them of that connection, and they realize no one else made them feel the same way. Why do women test a man's presence? This also explains why some women act distant, cold, or pretend they've moved on. But deep down, they're testing themselves. Does he still have an effect on me? And if you still influence her emotions, she won't be able to fully detach from you. Because when a woman feels a powerful, unforgettable connection, she can try to walk away. She can try to replace you. She can try to convince herself she's over it. But her body still remembers. How to create an unforgettable connection. To make a woman feel this way, it's not just about looks. It's about confidence, a man who knows his own worth, masculine dominance, leading without hesitation, strong but controlled energy, making her feel drawn in but also safe. Because when a woman feels your presence in a way that touches her subconscious, she won't forget that feeling. Ever. Even if she resists it, she can't erase it. She might try to suppress it. She might try to deny it. She might try to act like she's over you. But in the end, that feeling stays imprinted in her memory. And that's why, even if she says she's over you, her body still remembers you. Reason number 7. You walked away with dignity and left an empty space. Most men don't realize this, but the way you leave a woman determines whether she truly lets go of you or if you become the one she can't forget. A woman may leave you. She may think she's made the right choice. She may even feel confident in her decision at first. But when a man walks away with dignity, without begging, without pleading, without losing himself, something changes in her mind. Why most men lose a woman's respect when she leaves. Most women are used to men reacting emotionally when they pull away. They expect men to panic, spam their phone with texts, ask endless questions about what went wrong. And when a man does this, she feels completely in control. She knows, he's waiting for me, he's desperate. If I ever want to come back, he'll be there. There's no urgency, no fear of loss. And when respect is lost, attraction dies. The power of walking away with self-respect. But when a man simply accepts her decision and disappears, without trying to fix anything, without chasing, without explaining, that's when she starts to feel uncertain, because suddenly the dynamic flips. Instead of being the one who was in control, she starts questioning herself. Did he ever really care about me? Why isn't he fighting for me? Did I misjudge him? That uncertainty plants a seed of doubt in her mind, and the more she tries to convince herself she made the right decision, the more she starts wondering if she actually lost a great man. Regret starts to creep in. A woman will always be more haunted by the man who left in silence than by the man who begged for another chance. Because when a man refuses to chase, when he walks away with quiet confidence, she is forced to face her own decision. And if he was truly valuable, then his silence becomes deafening. She may try to distract herself with social media, partying, other men, work, but in the quiet moments, her mind drifts back to him. And because he never begged, never broke down, never lost his dignity, she starts wondering, was I the one who got left behind? Did I misjudge him? Two men, two different reactions. Who does she remember? Imagine two men getting dumped by a woman. Man number one, the emotional wreck, begs her to stay, texts constantly, checking up on her, says he'll change just to keep her, says he'll do whatever it takes to make it work. He's emotional, but she no longer feels attraction. Man number two, the silent, unshaken man, listens, nods, and simply says, "All right." He accepts, then completely disappears. No final text, no begging, no emotional breakdown. Who makes her think longer? Man number two. Why? Because man number one made things too easy. She knows he's still an option, but man number two left a space behind, and that empty space forces her to feel the loss. She may not feel it immediately, but over time, if no better man shows up, she starts replaying how he handled things. And then the questions begin. What is he doing? Who is he with? Does he still think about me? And that's when curiosity turns into obsession. Curiosity turns into obsession. Women don't regret losing men who were always available. They only regret losing the ones who left without explanation, without emotion, and without breaking their dignity. Because that man, he becomes an unanswered question, and unanswered questions never fade from the mind. Your absence becomes more powerful than another man's presence. This is why a woman can't let go of a man who walked away with honor. His absence is felt more strongly than the presence of another man, because he didn't just leave. He left behind a void, a space that no one else can fill. And when a woman feels that empty space, she starts realizing, other men don't make me feel the way he did. No one else has his energy. I miss how I felt around him. The final lesson: your value lies in your strength. Men who beg to stay will be forgotten. Men who walk away with dignity will be remembered. Women don't let go of men who create mystery. They remember men who stand firm in their values. They obsess over men who leave a space behind when they walk away. If she still thinks about you, it's not by accident. It's because you gave her something rare. A man she couldn't control, couldn't replace, and couldn't forget. That is the power of walking away. And that is why she can never truly let you go. In my personal view, a man isn't unforgettable because of his looks or wealth. He's unforgettable because of the emotional imprint he leaves behind. Because no matter how many men a woman meets, she won't remember the one who was always chasing her, always available, always desperate to please. She remembers the one who made her feel something powerful. Why women aren't drawn to desperation. Women aren't pulled in by constant pursuit. They aren't drawn to men who beg for their attention. What truly captivates them? The thrill of the chase, the challenge of winning over a high-value man, the fear of losing something rare and irreplaceable, because what is earned is valued, and what is given too easily is taken for granted. The truth about attraction. Attraction isn't about always being available. It's about knowing when to step back, when to let her wonder, when to become a mystery instead of an open book. Because when a woman doesn't know where she stands with you, that's when you occupy her mind. Women don't remember the man who was always there. They remember the man who left a void, because a man who can control his emotions, who holds his self-worth, who never begs for attention, he forces her to start wondering, am I losing him? Why isn't he chasing me like the others? Did I misjudge him? And in that very moment, you stop being just another guy. You become the one she can't forget. No contact, not just a strategy, but a way of life. No contact isn't just a trick to make someone miss you. It's more than that. It's a philosophy, a way of life built on detachment, self-mastery, and shifting your focus back to you. But this is where most people go wrong. They think creating distance is just about making the other person feel their absence. It's not. No contact is about reclaiming your own power. The power of control. The ancient Stoics believed in a fundamental truth. The only things you truly control are your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Everything else, the feelings, thoughts, or actions of others, is beyond your control. Once you truly understand this, you'll realize no contact isn't a test for her, it's a test for you. Think about this. Why does silence make you anxious? Why do you feel uncomfortable without validation from someone else? The answer? Attachment. When your sense of worth depends on someone else's response, you hand over control of your emotions. No contact forces you to confront this and to choose a different path. Detachment. Detachment, the power of self-worth. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you no longer rely on someone else to feel valuable or happy. You can still love, but you refuse to let another person's actions dictate your emotional state. This is the foundation of true strength. Staying calm even when everything around you is chaotic. Not seeking external validation to feel worthy. Controlling your emotions rather than letting others control them for you. No contact, shifting the power dynamic. Psychologically, silence changes the dynamic. It disrupts expectations. If she's used to you always reaching out first, your silence will stand out. But this isn't about manipulation. Silence isn't about making her come back. Silence is about setting yourself free. Ask yourself, When was the last time you truly felt at peace, without needing validation from anyone? That's the real goal of no contact, not to get her back, but to rediscover yourself, free from the influence of someone else's actions. If this resonates with you, comment, "Silence is my power." Let this be your reminder that detachment is the highest form of self-respect. If this message speaks to you, hit the like button. Affirm that you're ready to take control of your emotions and master your life. You have the power. Now, own it. We've explored 7 powerful reasons why a woman struggles to forget a man. Now, let's go over the key takeaways. Women aren't drawn to logic. They don't hold on because of words, promises, or explanations. They remember the emotional imprint you leave behind. Because when you spark curiosity, challenge her growth, create a sense of loss, you leave a mark in her mind, one no other man can easily replace. What makes a man truly unforgettable? It's not the man who's always available. It's not the one who's always pleasing, always chasing, always begging to stay. The man she can't forget is the one who maintains his mystery, holds his value, walks away with dignity when necessary. Because when a woman realizes, he's not easy to get, his presence isn't guaranteed, suddenly you become a challenge, something she doesn't want to lose. And when you leave without begging, when you don't plead, when you don't try to convince her, when you simply walk away, you don't just leave, you leave a void, a space in her mind that not just anyone can fill. And that is what makes you the man she can't forget. No contact, not just a strategy, but a way of life. No contact isn't just a trick to make someone miss you. It's more than that. It's a philosophy, a way of life built on detachment, self-mastery, and shifting your focus back to you. But this is where most people go wrong. They think creating distance is just about making the other person feel their absence. It's not. No contact is about reclaiming your own power. The power of control. The ancient Stoics believed in a fundamental truth. The only things you truly control are your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Everything else, the feelings, thoughts, or actions of others, is beyond your control. Once you truly understand this, you'll realize no contact isn't a test for her, it's a test for you. Think about this. Why does silence make you anxious? Why do you feel uncomfortable without validation from someone else? The answer? Attachment. When your sense of worth depends on someone else's response, you hand over control of your emotions. No contact forces you to confront this and to choose a different path. Detachment. Detachment, the power of self-worth. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you no longer rely on someone else to feel valuable or happy. You can still love, but you refuse to let another person's actions dictate your emotional state. This is the foundation of true strength. Staying calm even when everything around you is chaotic. Not seeking external validation to feel worthy. Controlling your emotions rather than letting others control them for you. No contact, shifting the power dynamic. Psychologically, silence changes the dynamic. It disrupts expectations. If she's used to you always reaching out first, your silence will stand out. But this isn't about manipulation. Silence isn't about making her come back. Silence is about setting yourself free. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly felt at peace, without needing validation from anyone? That's the real goal of no contact, not to get her back, but to rediscover yourself, free from the influence of someone else's actions. If this resonates with you, comment, "Silence is my power." Let this be your reminder that detachment is the highest form of self-respect. If this message speaks to you, hit the like button. Affirm that you're ready to take control of your emotions and master your life. You have the power. Now, own it. If you're ready to dive deeper into these principles, I've prepared a wealth of insights and practical strategies to help you. Master your masculinity, understand the modern dating world, build the kind of presence that naturally draws people in. Because dating isn't about lines, tricks, or tactics. It's about mindset, confidence, and the undeniable value you bring. And when you truly know yourself, when you own your worth, you won't have to chase anyone. Your presence alone will attract what is meant for you. So, stay strong, stay focused, protect your value. Never let anyone or anything dim the power within you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next chapter, where we'll go even deeper on your journey to becoming the man who cannot be replaced. No contact, not just a strategy, but a way of life. No contact isn't just a trick to make someone miss you. It's more than that. It's a philosophy, a way of life built on detachment, self-mastery, and shifting your focus back to you. But this is where most people go wrong. They think creating distance is just about making the other person feel their absence. It's not. No contact is about reclaiming your own power. The power of control. The ancient Stoics believed in a fundamental truth. The only things you truly control are your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Everything else, the feelings, thoughts, or actions of others, is beyond your control. Once you truly understand this, you'll realize no contact isn't a test for her, it's a test for you. Think about this. Why does silence make you anxious? Why do you feel uncomfortable without validation from someone else? The answer? Attachment. When your sense of worth depends on someone else's response, you hand over control of your emotions. No contact forces you to confront this and to choose a different path. Detachment. Detachment, the power of self-worth. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you no longer rely on someone else to feel valuable or happy. You can still love, but you refuse to let another person's actions dictate your emotional state. This is the foundation of true strength. Staying calm even when everything around you is chaotic. Not seeking external validation to feel worthy. Controlling your emotions rather than letting others control them for you. No contact, shifting the power dynamic. Psychologically, silence changes the dynamic. It disrupts expectations. If she's used to you always reaching out first, your silence will stand out. But this isn't about manipulation. Silence isn't about making her come back. Silence is about setting yourself free. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly felt at peace, without needing validation from anyone? That's the real goal of no contact, not to get her back, but to rediscover yourself, free from the influence of someone else's actions. If this resonates with you, comment, "Silence is my power." Let this be your reminder that detachment is the highest form of self-respect. If this message speaks to you, hit the like button. Affirm that you're ready to take control of your emotions and master your life. You have the power. Now, own it.